Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday night community call. I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Carol Gillette. For those who don't know me, I am an independent certified health coach here in beautiful Tampa, Florida, and I've been on my journey personally since June of 2021. Coaching since July of 2021, over 60 pounds down, loving every moment of every day of this process and the new person I've become. I want to welcome everyone back who's been on every week. So glad to have you back, and yay to you for recognizing the value of being here on the call. We know that that's how you get the support that you need so you can stay on your journey. So congratulations for recognizing that and making it a priority to be here every Tuesday night. It's only 30 minutes and it's so worth it. And then hello to all of the new ones who are visiting with us. Welcome. We're so happy to have you, and we certainly hope that you'll hang around with us and you too take the opportunity to optimize your health. So we look forward to seeing you on many, many more calls to come. And of course, my amazing coaches, my mentors. I love you all. Always glad to see you as well. So I'm gonna get right into it. I know you didn't think I would, but I am. So be nice to me. I'm a substitute. So be nice. Okay, so we're doing element 20, maximizing your anti-inflammation protection. We're going to explore why your immune system is so important to optimal health. We're going to identify where and how inflammation could be showing up in your life. And then we're going to evaluate opportunities to reduce inflammation in your environment. Really, our immune system is a beautiful gift from God because it was created as a friend to our bodies. It is our personal 24/7 on call emergency service, and it has an incredible ability to seek out intruders such as bacteria, viruses, and parasites. It is the most complex system in the body. It not only defends us, but it remembers every battle it has ever fought, so it can recognize repeat threats and avoid wasting time on harmless ones. So, isn't that really amazing if you think about it, though? We are wonderfully made, right? Its purpose really is to restore the balance to an unbalanced body. And once it's done its job, it could settle down into a normal, vigilant state to await the next crisis. That's how it was created. However, unfortunately, it would be awesome if it worked just like that, but we live in an imperfect world. So, as medical science is now discovering, the immune system can also be our enemy because of the mistakes that many of us have made, and that's living in habits of disease and making that our way of life. We usually don't even think about inflammation truly. I know I don't until you start feeling it. You might notice it because you're feeling a little tired, or maybe you look in the mirror and maybe your skin coloring isn't looking that great, or maybe you've got like that sore throat. You might notice that, or you might have achy joints. But truth be told, chronic low grade inflammation attacks our body and plays a central role in the degenerative diseases and aging. The negative effects begin long before the disease state express themselves overtly. And we can unfortunately see some of the effects of it. If you look at your Habits of Health book, there's a chart that shows you all of the conditions that are the result of the inflammation state. So there are things like high blood pressure, respiratory problems like sinus infections. We can have gastrointestinal problems. So that could be obesity or Crohn's disease. We have kidney problems, immune system problems such as rheumatoid arthritis, brain issues like mood disorders, or it could be depression. It could go on and on. There's just so many, all from that one little culprit. So it's really a silent enemy. And over time, if we keep our immune system in action on bad habits such as eating unhealthy foods, avoiding exercise, neglecting our sleep, or handling stress poorly, then our bodies will begin to age and break down prematurely. And we know those are our habits of health, where we're learning now to sleep better and to drink more water and all of those things. But before program, we were not that conscious of those micro habits that are so vital to keeping our immune system in check and keeping inflammation under control. So in our journey to optimal health, you're already learning so many things that's going to help you leave off this habit of disease and give you habits of health into your life. But just to give you a little bit more background on all of this, on how the immune system works, so and what things cause problems. I can't show you I don't know how to show you my screen, but if you look at your book, there's a habits of disease that causes inflammation, like a little chart. In an uncontrolled state, the oxygen in your body fuels health. When oxygen molecules are disrupted, forming what you've probably heard described as free radicals, they can kill cells, damage your DNA, and again cause you to age prematurely. There's a whole lot more to that, but that's just like a little synopsis of what goes wrong. And in that chart, you can see how this can get going. And then it also shows you on the chart some of the habits of disease that we unfortunately were doing prior to program, and we're learning differently now, such as how we're eating or the chemicals in our environment, or just like I mentioned, obesity or the lack of movement. Those things affected as well. Also, studies have found the presence of C-reactive protein, an inflammation marker, plays a major role in the development of heart disease, which is just one of the many conditions I mentioned to you, the habits of disease. So I'm going to step back and tell you one other little thing I saw in the Habits of Health book that just blew my mind. It says, sitting is the most ignored health threat of our times. This lack of movement is activating our immune system and eroding our health, now killing more people in the world than smoking. Does that not do you like a mind blow? Can you believe that? Just sitting. And how often when I do health assessments and we ask individuals, how many hours are you sitting? Do you hear some staggering numbers? But how dangerous that is to our health. So it's really something to think about. So also in your book, you'll see a chart of pro-inflammation components in the American diet. It's really sad to see that the Western diet has over 70% of it is made of processed foods. And that is also a pro-inflammation component. 70% of our regular diet. Is that scary to anybody else? That's scary. And that's how we've been living all this time. So thankful for the program that we have that's teaching us differently. In the diet, we noticed that only 10% of it is composed of vegetables and fruits and nuts and things like that that would actually help our health. So I just found that to be crazy, crazy. Now, you might say, well, my goodness, well, how do I know how bad I've got it? Like, I've been doing this for so many years. Like, how critical is it for me? What can I do? So, cool thing, you can ask your healthcare provider about testing your CRP. And you should be tested at least every 5 years using a high sensitivity C-reactive protein assay, which can help determine your risk of heart disease and other inflammation related conditions. So there you go. Dr. A didn't leave us wondering. There's an actual test that you can request from your doctor. Now, also in your Habits of Health book, you'll see that there's a number of things that we can do right now today that will help us in this regard. Since we want to continually get better, we can keep our inflammation in check by making these small changes. So maintain a healthy weight, We're on that, right? We got that. We're working on it. Eat good fats, and there's omega-3s and etc. Avoid bad fats such as trans fats, saturated fats, animal fats. Avoid overcooking and charring foods. How many like to get that barbecue rib with that little bit of charring on the end? Hello, me too. That's like my fave, right? No more. Avoid it. You can still barbecue, but don't get the charred part. Eat more fruits and vegetables, especially low glycemic vegetables and antioxidant rich colored vegetables. So, right now on the weight loss portion, you might not have fruits in your particular plan at the moment, but you will, because you won't be on the same program all your life. So we're going to add those back in. And when you do, you want to look for low glycemic vegetables and antioxidant rich colored vegetables. So eat more fiber through whole grains, avoid sugar, highly refined carbohydrates, and high fructose corn syrup. Cook with anti-inflammatory herbs and spices. We know a lot of packaged foods come in the store now. A lot of packaged, what do you say? What I'm trying to say is things that help you prepare your dishes, right? They're all pre-packaged. That's awesome because you think that saves you time. Well, the better choice would be to go to more fresh herbs and spices. And that way you can also eliminate some things that might cause inflammation. Incorporate modest, notice the word modest, amounts of antioxidant rich supplements and foods such as red wine. We all like a nice little glass of red wine, and dark chocolate. I love chocolate, and green tea. But notice the word modest. So, in moderation, it's a cool thing. And just back up on that sugar. We know sugar, we learned, is like cocaine, just like crack. So that's why you have to avoid it. You get addicted and you don't know how to quit. And it's not your fault. You're not responsible. That's how it's made. So really avoid that. And then also there's information on, oh, there's so much information in this book. There's no reason why we can't get this under control. But just to mention something else, in the oils that we pick, we all like to cook with oil. So in our Habits of Health book, it says use a healthy anti-inflammatory diet would include olive oils, flaxseed, canola, but you want to avoid corn oil or peanut oil, soybean oil, and there's a bunch of others mentioned. Also, you want to steer clear of trans fats, fatty meats, and all of these things can increase inflammation and breakdown of the protein and fats. So avoid. And here's a tip on your oil. Only buy first pressed olive oil that have the highest levels of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. Keep your bottle fresh, buying only what you will use in a month and stored in the dark and away from the hot stove. So yeah, you're going to buy the best, okay? But you don't need the biggest bottle either. So you don't need to go to Costco and buy the big gigantic thing of oil unless you think you're going to use that up in a month. You don't want to do that. And then how about your surroundings? Within your surroundings, we all have our lawns. Even if you don't personally do your lawn, maybe you, like me, I live in a townhome and we have a HOA, they do our lawns. Well, I know it's full of pesticides. I see them put them out there all the time. So you want to avoid walking on it, especially with bare feet. And if you do walk on it, even with your shoes, leave your shoes outside. If you find that's pretty tacky, then make a cute little basket outside the door for the shoes to stay in there and leave slippers for in the house. So it's very important. And in your closet, we all like those beautiful dresses that have gone to the dry cleaners. We leave them in the plastic bag and hang them in the closets, keep them all fresh, right? Well, those same bags are very dangerous. They cause inflammation and even cancer. So be careful with that as well. As much as possible, wash your clothes. But if it's not an item that can be washed, then try to look for a cleaner that use less toxic environment. There's so many things that we can do. But here's one last thing. One of the biggest culprits that we have is stress, and we are all under it. We just feel it like here all the time. We have work, we have home, we have other things that just take our breath away sometimes. We're so overloaded, right? So beating stress can definitely help you to curb inflammation. And here are some ways that you can do it. Get a massage. So it's no longer a luxury, it's a necessity because it helps. It says nothing works like a human touch to promote feelings of well being. So get that massage. Also mentions yoga. I don't do yoga, but it does mention yoga as an option. Stretching, deep breathing, those things are good for you. And then take a warm bath. We are so tied in this fast paced world of run, 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 run. We jump in the shower and jump out, right? Dr. A says, slow that puppy down. Slow that puppy down and take a nice warm bath. Make it something fun. Include your oils, your nice music. Put some candles out. Shut the door and lock it and tell everybody to leave you alone. Leave me alone. And take some time to de-stress. That's important. And then your home in general. Declutter. Clutter is a stress builder. So declutter, make your home cozy and inspiring. Turn on some soft music. Not the TV all the time, that blah, blah, blah in your brain. Turn off the TV, put on some soft music, put some beautiful art around, plant a nice garden, have beautiful green plants. Create an environment where you can sit down and think and read and pour into your mindset, positive thoughts. And then it also mentions about building a waterfall. Well, I can't do that now where I live, but find a place where you can have some peace, that you can listen to the water. Maybe it's just a fish tank. Maybe it's just a little bitty fish tank, but do whatever that'll help you to promote peace within your body. And then finally, I have to mention laughter because there is nothing like a good old belly laugh, like them ones where you throw your head back and you're about to burst because you just feel so good. It's all down in here and you're bringing it up. That good old belly laugh is essential. It reduces stress, it decreases the CRP, and it lowers unhealthy hormone levels. So smile. It sounds smile, even though you don't feel like it. Just smile. Just pour, reach down deep. You may not be feeling it, but just the effect of making yourself smile reduces stress. Focus on positive thoughts. It's not just a slogan. And I heard this on a YouTube that I was listening to before I came on. So it's easier to say no when there is a deeper yes inside you. Knowing what you're putting into your body and how it affects your ability to live an optimal life helps you to make good, wise decisions. Think about it before you put it in your mouth. Think about what it's doing to you, where you want to be versus what this will do for you right at the moment. It's a temporary fix versus a long-term years of happiness and fulfillment, right? And this is going to help you to avoid or minimize your exposure to inflammation. So that's all I have for you. I know it's just a tiny bit of what Dr. A gave us. So hopefully you guys have some more to pour in. Thanks for listening to me. Have a good evening. What do you have? Sorry. Does anybody have anything? Oh, there's Ricky. Yay, Ricky saved me. Can you hear? Or is it just me? Can't hear.
Okay, so this is just something that happened to me the other day in regard to inflammation. In being in the Piggly Wiggly, there's a man there who has a little concession for food where he sells like Mediterranean food. And he does lamb and all the different Greek dishes and all like that already prepared. And so when he gives something for you, he always gives you a little advice too. And so his was about olive oil because he keeps a great selection of olive oil. But he says never buy the ones in the plastic, always buy the bottle. And he says take a tablespoon of olive oil every day, and that that would be good for your skin and for all your vital organs. and for your elimination process.
Thank you, Ricky. It's good to know. Good to know. We have James.
Hello, everybody. All right, so thank you, Carol. This was really, really good. When I looked at the element, I was like, the element is short. It's only a few pages, but then you go into, I think it's 2.14 or something like that in the Habits of Health book. The Habits of Health book, and it was a lot of information, and great job covering it. I appreciated how in the beginning it started off talking about, and this is in the Habits of Health book, 424, where it says that all of the micro habits are involved in this element when it comes to inflammation. It affects us in all all the areas of the Habits of Health can affect the inflammation that can build up in our body. Our sleep, of course, our eating, hydration, our sleep, motion, mindset, and as you mentioned, our surroundings. And I also appreciated that chart you talked about, because it talked about all of the different areas, our food, our internal environment, external environment, because it all plays. It all has a huge benefit, whether good or bad, into the inflammation in our body. But in that Habits of Health book, it talked about conditions by an inflammatory state, and it calls it the silent enemy. That was mind-blowing for me, because a lot of the stuff we see people struggle with these days, the cardiovascular system, respiratory, kidneys, and it talks about all types of diseases, Alzheimer's, mood disorders, different types of cancers, the common ones, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes. All of these is caused by our body having too much or not enough, or too much inflammation. So practicing these habits of health for me is important, because I want to stay healthy. And if I can control, my food intake, if I can control my outside environment and control my inside environment and stress, then I know that I can live a longer, healthier life. So that was good. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Then we have Stanley.
Yeah, so great job, Carol. Thank you for covering this very thoroughly. You always do such a great job, though, Carol. You're very thorough, so thank you. Yeah, don't disagree with me. All right, listen, I appreciate not just this particular element, but just, all the elements, all of the information that we received. Where was this information at before you started? It was out there somewhere, right? But what OptiVia has done is put it right in our hands, right before us. The tools are at our fingertips. All we have to do is take the time to spend some time with our health book, right? That's all we got to do. 5 minutes a day, whatever you can do. Jump in this book so you can continue to learn this knowledge. We can teach these elements from here, but it hits even deeper when you take the time to put in the work yourself. It really reaches your heart. So I wanted to share this tip. I'm all about soaking in the tub these days too. So I try to soak in the tub at least once a week. But I get hot water, hot as I can manage it for myself. And I add about a cup of baking soda, that Arm & Hammer baking soda. I add about a cup of that. I'll add 10 drops of lavender oil. Sometimes I'll add some eucalyptus in there, essential oil. And I'll also do about a half a cup to 1 cup of Epsom salt. It is so relaxing. So I just wanted to share that tip. It says treat yourself. So make sure you treat yourself in those kind of ways. Not, let me go and get this cookie sandwich, or whatever it is. You're not treating yourself in that kind of way. Treat yourself in a way that is productive, but it also it goes with this journey that you're on. The journey never takes a vacation. And we got to pay attention to our elements. All of those things that are around us causes us to be unhealthy. So identify those things and work to keep ourselves away from that as much as we can. things that are out of our control, but look for ways to treat yourself internally and externally. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stanley. Yeah, treat yourself like you are worth $1 million. And $1 million, aren't you worth sitting there for a little bit in the tub and relaxing? Yes, we are. Thank you very much. James, you had another one? Or am I turning it over to you? Because I don't see no more hands. Is that no, I can't turn it over to you? Or no, you have nothing else to say? Or no, you just gonna leave me hanging?
Sorry, my hand was still up from when I shared my 2 cents. I don't have anything else to say. Maybe we have a few minutes though, Carol. Maybe if somebody has a break, a win, a victory, a question, anything. Maybe in the last minute or two, if somebody wants to come off and just share a win or victory that they've experienced in this past week, or somewhere in their journey they're excited about, or just want to share something to send us off on a good note, we would love to hear it. We got another minute.
We got Ricky has a win.
Yeah,
Can
go
you-
ahead, Ricky. You got to unmute yourself, Ricky, and then looks like Betty also has a victory she would like to share, or something she would like to share.
Okay, all right, okay. So anyway, I had another chance of not having to take that shot. So it's getting so every 3 months, I take the shot for 3 months and then I don't have. So I'm so happy about that. So maybe I'll get to the point when I won't have to ever take it. But I had another win too. I picked it good on me, but Carol talked me out of it. So I wanted to go to I had bought this dress and it was showing some lumps and bumps. So anyway, I went back on the program for about a week and I was gorgeous indeed.
And she
So much
looked good
better.
too. She sent me a picture. Yep.
That's it.
Yep. I want to say real quick too, my numbers at the doctor's office were off the chart. She was like shocked. I just have one thing with my thyroid, but that's always up and down anyway. And blood pressure is great. She's excited about my weight. I'm like it's like awesome because I don't usually get that, you know. All right, Betty, go ahead. Betty.
You know, I like for you all to know, it might not be big to you, but my shoes, I couldn't wear any of my shoes, my heels. I really gained a lot of COVID weight. And last Sunday, the shoes are too big and my stockings couldn't get into them. The tights were so tight, it's like, oh, what am I going to do? I got my stockings on and they came all the way up here. I'm so happy. I was so happy. I had to send Stanley a pic. I was just happy. He said, I don't need, you know, the stockings. I think he got a little embarrassed, but it was all right. You know, well, all of us ladies wear stockings and pantyhose. I want you to know they were too big. I'm so happy.
We're so excited for you. I get that, Betty. I get that for real, for real. That's awesome. Yay. Stanley, it's fine that she has stockings. It's like socks. They're just longer.
Real long.
Anybody else? Or is that it? I don't know what time it is. Oh, time. Time. So thank you everyone for all of your contributions tonight. I hope you found some value. And I look forward to seeing you all next week and the week after that and the week after that and the week after that because you value your health. We want you
Thank
here.
you. You did a great
Miss
job.
you. Good night, everybody.